Anandamayi Ma, a widely revered Indian spiritual teacher, also called a saint rather than a guru, because she doesn't have much to teach in usual sense. So her life itself is considered the teaching. So the photograph you are seeing on the thumbnail. So when I was living in Santosh Nagar, I was walking on a road and a piece of newspaper which carried the photograph of this particular lady. I just picked it up and I don't really know who she is and from where she belongs to. But I really experienced a tremendous silence when I was looking at the photograph. And after many years, I came to know who she is. Her name is Anandamayi Ma. And my latter readings, I found many accounts were virtues, and many people had followed her, met her, and cleared their spiritual questions. And she created a aura around her, which attracted millions of people, though it happened naturally. Her teachings are very simple, so simple. So her name actually Nirmala Sundari Devi. In Bengal, she was born, and she did not study much, and she was married very young. But from the very beginning of her life, she started showing unusual spiritual states, like so long trances she used to experience beyond body thing, and spontaneous chanting or deep absorption, and people used to think she is a special person or a mad person. So she is an ordinary woman, and she underwent a kind of spontaneous spiritual awakening, and she did not studied much the spiritual scriptures, and she did not practice under any guru or teacher, but spontaneously she underwent many yogic states, a mindless state, and she did not promoted herself, but many people started talking about her, and uh, many people started coming to see her and visit her, to speak to her, to take her blessings, like scholars, monks, householders, and political leaders. She has tremendous clarity, and most importantly, the unbounded compassion she showered on people is immeasurable. She has no personal ambition. She dedicated her life to existence, and whatsoever happened through her happened. And she never claimed any authority on anybody, or she founded anything, neither she founded any doctrine. And she never said she is enlightened. She simply said that this body has come to remind you of what you already are. This is what clarity is. When we see a forest, a pure vegetation, a clean air, that reminds me how our village should be. If we look at Ramana Maharshi, he reminds us that how a man should be, how peaceful one should can live. So she traveled across India, she sang, she made people laugh, and she gave simple teaching uh, to people. Whether people understood or not, I truly don't know. But there are many accounts. What exactly she said? She used to say that God is already within you. So you don't need to become something new. You don't have to crave for something. You don't have to no, fumble for something. You don't have to search for something. The divine reality, which is your true nature. So all the spiritual practices, it's all about the remembering who the hell you are, but not to acquire any external knowledge. This is for us. This is what her teaching was. And she used to that follow your path sincerely, whatsoever the path you are walking along. She encouraged people to stay with the spiritual path that felt natural to them. Whether it is devotion or whether it is meditation or service or a chanting or a mantra or self inquiry. But don't copy others. You should know that you are living your own life according to your consciousness. Don't copy others. And she used to say that all suffering comes from identifying with the I, the ego, which is the main evil. As attachment to go ego loosens, so peace appears on its own. So drop identity. This is me and this is that. This is I belong to this community. I'm a special person. I'm this. So drop all these nonsensical things. That's what she used to say. And she used to press on these things, keep laughing all the time. So whenever there is opportunity to laugh, open up yourself. Laughter is a natural phenomena, a natural meditation where body mind complex joins together, becomes one entity, functions as one entity. And she emphasized that bliss means the ananda is not a reward, you know. It is not a reward for the effort you have made, but it is just the background of existence once resistance drops. Yesterday, I had a conversation with a friend. We discussed elaborately about this. It is your true nature. You cannot pretend to be ananda, blissful. Just push aside all the obstacles and ananda is revealed. And she used to say that grace matters more than effort. Actually, all these things said by many great people. Even your neighbor can say all these things. Even if you search in the Google, you will find this information. But whatsoever she is saying, it is not information. If whatsoever I am saying or somebody else saying, if it is information, that it is just meaningless thing. Whatsoever you are saying, you should live by that. Pratyaksham kim pramanam, you should be the pramanam of your verbatim. So she used to say that grace matters more than effort. The photograph you are seeing on the thumbnail, look at the grace. Look at that joy. Look at that unwaveringness. So she used to say discipline, self-discipline is helpful. But the true transformation ultimately happens through grace, not force. If you really want to change somebody, not by force, but through grace, through compassion. These are not ordinary words. So her responses were very playful. Whosoever asked any kind of question, playfully she used to ask. And those answers were deeply intuitive. And sometimes they are paradoxical. Sometimes people used to understand, and sometimes people used to won't understand. I have heard a story about Anandamayi. A thief, broke into the ashram at night intending to steal something which is valuable. So he was searching for it, and suddenly Anandamayi Ma appeared in front of him, and she was calm, smiling, and completely unafraid. So instead of shouting or calling for help, she gently said something like, "So why take from outside? Take what you really need from here." She said, "Why take from outside? Take what you really need from here." In Bengali, she said, "বাইরে থেকে কেন নেবে? যা সত্যিও দরকার, এখান থেকে নাও." And the thief was perplexed. And she behaved as if she was actually waiting for him. And he was sitting in front of her. And she said, "You just take whatever you want. You don't have to broke into my home. And we don't have to create ruckus." And she said softly about why, from where restlessness appears, and from where this fear comes, and from what is the significance of hunger, and how the hunger drives people to do the things they really don't want to do. Suddenly the man broke down crying, and he confessed everything. Whatsoever he had taken, he just returned. And she stayed there for hours and listened to her. And it's reported to have said that he gave up stealing, and he became a devotee and a spiritual seeker. So most of the people who visited her not liked her just because of her mere words or her teaching, because there was no real teaching at all. Like, she did not conceptualize her understanding. Few people do, there is no problem, but she did not do. But all the people, the reason they spend time with her, or they want to be in her presence, because of her grace. She showed that no fear and no judgment. That was her life's message. She's always fearless, and she is always beyond judgmental. Whosoever comes to visit her, she looked at them as if the other person also her. So there are many great people. They showered their their understanding on humanity, and human thinks that the human life is the one of the finest creations of this existence, or of the God. If you are the finest creature, then why the hell are you following somebody? If you have a greatest brain, if you have the greatest potential to understand anything, you look at the existence, you look into life, what exactly it is saying, what kind of song it is singing. That's enough. You don't have to strive, to be happy. Spirituality is all about releasing what is your true nature, then sticking to it and living it and speaking about it. Rest is immaterial. So I just bow down to you all, and Sri Anandamayi Ma, I consider her also my mother. Today I'll make a painting of her. If anybody want, just let me know. Is Saraswati.